のように侍は
So, I'm not gonna lie, these days it's been pretty miserable to be an Onimusha fan. The last major entry was all the way back in 2006 with Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, and that was an insane 17 years ago. And almost 2 decades later, we finally get something new, and it's in the form of a Netflix anime series. So for fans of the games, let me just first say without spoiling anything that Netflix's Onimusha isn't connected to any of the previous games in any way. It essentially features a standalone story, new characters that have never appeared in any of the games before. And in a way it makes it more accessible for people who have never played the games before. Maybe now they'll be interested and try to play them. So, for me personally, I did grow up playing some of these games way back on the PS2. At the time, I remember it being the only big samurai-related game for the time, and for that reason alone, I was just really drawn to these. But the games offer just a really interesting setting and story. But the main focus was on the gameplay, and it was really well done. So with all that said, when I first saw that Netflix was working on this series, I was already interested. But when I saw that they were using the late and great actor Toshiro Mifune as the lead, then I got really excited. And just imagining all the possibilities that this opens up, now we can have shows that bring back legendary actors that have long been gone. I say let's have a series with Bruce Lee next. You know, have him fight side by side with Mifune. Give us something crazy and exciting. So, just the fact that this show wanted to pay any respect to one of my favorite actors of all time, I was happy. And they do bring back some of his trademark Sanjuro behaviors, like him scratching his beard or just being real laid back. And in this, he's supposed to be Miyamoto Musashi, which the actor has played before. But unfortunately, if you don't really know anything about Musashi, then you're not going to get a lot of the references to his backstory or the characters that he's met. But the weird part is, Musashi wasn't even in any of the Onimusha games. So I'm not really sure why they chose that. They could have just went with the stories of the games. So it's worth noting that this show is helmed by the supervising director, Takashi Miike, and also the director, Shinya Sugai, as well as animation studio Sublimation. I'm not familiar with the other two, but I do know Takashi Miike, and I just really love that director. And just the influences of Miike are very clear, especially from the very first episode. We're talking about the guy who directed Ichi the Killer, Audition, movies that are just known for being very bloody and gory, and just pushing the boundaries. And that's probably the best thing about this series, and it really doesn't hold back with the violence. There's a lot of decapitations, amputations, and just lots of blood. However, none of it is really to the point of being too excessive. I think they could have even went a step above, and I'm sure Miike wanted to. But still, this series is definitely directed for adults, just like the games were, even though, you know, we were all kids playing those games. The story itself is set during the Edo period. It begins shortly after Miyamoto Musashi accepts a mission from a lord to stop a rebellion. The lord assigns to help out Musashi the accomplished but aging Kensuke Matsuki, and he brings along a bunch of crew members and underlings. The show definitely takes a lot from Seven Samurai, especially just including its focus on having 7 warriors. Also just having Mifune, who is also in Seven Samurai in this. Actually next they should just make a Seven Samurai anime. Bring back all the original actors. But don't make it like that sci-fi one they did. I don't like that one. The show really wastes no time revealing its plot. Traitors are just revealed immediately after being suspected, and the origins of the undead ghouls are just explained moments after they're defeated. So getting to the point, the question is, did I like this show? And, well, not really. I think it's just average, it's very run-of-the-mill. Time goes by without you really feeling anything, and before you know it, you're on episode 8, then it's over. I will say the visuals and the fights are very nice looking. I do like how it's set in the fall, but I feel like that's not enough. I feel like everything this show does, other shows and anime do a lot better. There's no real stakes, no excitement, nothing. In fact, when the other crew members died, I didn't care. And it's even filmed in a way to make it seem like it's not that big of a deal, so even the show doesn't care that they died. But this is all just very similar to how I felt about Netflix's other anime series, Yasuke. But this one doesn't have all that annoying messaging of Yasuke, so that is appreciated. If you've seen that show, you know what I mean. But for a show titled Onimusha, it really has just such little to do with the actual games. And if you played the games, you would know that the Oni Gauntlet and just the Oni powers really are the core of the series. And in the show, they really want to push just rejecting that. But not only that, but it also makes the Gauntlet seem bad, which was never the case in the actual Onimusha lore. There's no iconic monsters, not many references, no Oni sword magic. I feel like this isn't Onimusha. They should have just called it Miyamoto, Musashi, and Friends. And I feel like this is definitely just a cash grab just on the Onimusha name. I feel like the only good thing that this anime could do is, if it did well, maybe they'll give us another game. And I did consider not even making a video on this show, but some people asked for it, so you got it. But lately, I've just been really disappointed with Netflix. I also just take offense at how Toshiro Mifune was wasted and used just to market this. It's really just a shame because I do like the concept of just bringing back these classic actors that have been gone for years. I just hope that next time they do it more meaningful. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought of this show. Did you like it? Why? And do you like the Onimusha game series, and would you like them to bring it back? Anyway, thanks for watching.